Today, the EPA announced the range of the Polestar 2's electric range at 233 miles. Is that enough?
Yeah, well, that's the official EPA figure. We have an official WLTP, which would be 200, equivalent to 292. These are figures. We know what the car does in reality. We know that in reality, what might look a very big difference is not that much of a difference. We think it is definitely sufficient for a great day-to-day life with an EV. It's one of our versions. You know that we will adding different variants to the Polestar 2, which will have as well different higher EPA. So I think it's absolutely in the ballpark of where you are competitive with an EV that is really good for your 360 days in a year.
Yeah, with 233 miles, that's about 100 miles less than a similar Model 3 from Tesla. So my question again, what data do you have that says 233 miles is enough?
Well, we just simply did what I think is as well one thing that you might consider. Just simply drive the two cars, have them in similar conditions, driving the same stretch of road. And we just simply realized, okay, what looks like 100-mile difference on paper is in reality certainly not 100-mile difference. Yes, there is a difference. We will not say that we will beat Tesla in range. We certainly are not saying that, but definitely the difference driving the same car in the same stretch was much less than the 100 miles that is indicated with the EPA figures.
And I'll give you guys a lot of leeway here. Polestar is only 4 years old, and this is your second car that you have on the market in 4 years, and a third is coming. So that is incredible. But back to the range, when will the range improve on the Polestar 3 or the upcoming Polestar, or I'm sorry, the Polestar 2 and the upcoming Polestar 3?
Well, to start with, we have next year, 2021, in our plans to come out with a single motor version, which of course per se will give you better range with the same battery. And of course, along the way, we all know that week after week we learn, we'll have software improvement that will give more efficiency with the same kilowatt hours battery. So of course, we are on a journey. That is where we start, and it will get better from month to month coming.
Yeah, great. One more piece of news. The Polestar 2 was recently recalled for abruptly stopping. What happened?
Well, it's a safety recall that we do. This has happened in very, very rare cases. But of course, as a responsible car producer, you have to react. And we do this with a software update. And by that, make sure that it will not at all become a problem for any of our customers. It has not caused any accident. It has not caused any incidents or whatever. So before any of that could happen, we do the only responsible thing to do. We do the recall. There are, let's face it, after this couple of weeks, not that many cars out. So it is affecting 2,200 cars that we have to recall here. There's nothing in the US that we have to recall. So it's still a fairly reasonable thing that we can handle, I think, in a couple of weeks. This is through, and we are fine with it. Then again, and I should be very outspoken about it, this is not. I think it's okay for the customer to get that software update and it's done. We have to, on many more things, learn as a company, improve. We are a startup that is fresh out. And of course, you cannot expect everything to go smooth. And I'd say that daily to everybody, we have to improve. Our customers have to be with us on this way. And it's, I think, really a common great standard that the car industry by now actually does these things. Do very early a recall in order to make sure nobody really gets into a problem. So therefore, I would not really see that big issue with it. I think much more we have to really be very good in our service when the customer comes now, that the recall is really handled in a good way. So for me, it's a focus now, hey, let's make that now happen in a smooth and good way for the customer.